Hello everybody, and welcome back to emmavoid's Let's Play of Pyre. So, as you may have just heard from, well, me in another video, I kind of had some problems with the last episode that I tried to do. Basically I recorded it and only like a quarter of the screen, like this little edge here, actually got recorded. So, yeah. So, if you'd like a quick recap of what happened in that episode that does not any longer exist, go ahead and check out that last video I posted. But here we are now, so let's go ahead and get started. We've won our last match here at the Pit of Melith, and so, yep, I had a feeling Tamitha wants to chat, probably about us beating her sister again. Despite Tamitha's mental conditioning, you can tell something is troubling her. She won't listen to a word I say, not one damn word. If she weren't my blood sister, I should think I'd hate her guts as much as she hates mine. She shakes her head. I should apologize, to you and everyone. I sought out Tamitha without asking your leave. Figured I would rather seek forgiveness than permission, you understand. My attempts with Tamitha didn't amount to much, as you well saw, so at this point I'm hopeful you'll be more accepting of apologies than she. Though, tell me something, reader darling. Do you suppose I'm going to betray you? You may know better than I do at this point. Tamitha wishes to know where you think her loyalties lie. I think that she's pretty loyal. Like, yeah, she cares about her sister, of course, and, like, wants to try to make amends with her and all that crap, but she's not gonna turn on us, I don't think. You expressed to Tamitha that you do not view her efforts to make peace with Tamitha as being contradictory to the group's larger goals. You understand why she did what she did. She says nothing for a while. That's kind of you to say, darling. May the others see it with such generosity, but if they don't, you need but tell me to depart, and I'll be on my way. However, I have a promise that I wish to make to you. You let me stay, and I'll see this through, with all of you, no matter where we all end up. I'll be on the roof for a bit, I think. You take care too, darling. Despite Tamitha's disappointment with the outcome of her confrontation with her blood sister, you sense she is less troubled now, after your brief conversation. Cool. Alright, so it looks like we've also got some book pages to check out. What do we got here? The Essence. Ah yes, the TV font. In the words of Haug the Swallow, the Accursed, the winged members of the Essence, each chosen by the matriarch Triesta Tithys, are living exemplars of liberty and piety. Would that... piety? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. Would that my wings could be thus. Once, you of course must know, we all had wings. It is said the people of the Empire relinquished theirs, drawn in by earthly matters as they were. But the harps, such as Triesta, held tight to the liberty their plumage could afford. These divergent paths did cause a share of differences between the winged and the wingless over time. But here, in this land, our purposes are shared, our goals united. That, then, is the Essence. That is who they are, and what, and why. Interesting. It's definitely interesting to see how the different groups have changed. And... right, so I checked before, and we're headed off to fight the Chastity and H. Manly Tinderstoff, who is a huge jerk face. So let's get on with that. Being here in Flagging Hands continues to sap most everyone's spirits. Ugh, another negative one hope. This place is awful. Alright, let's take off. Oops. Alright, and we're headed this way. I gotta say, I love that we can fly around just wherever we want now. it's pretty cool. And, right, something that also got left out due to last episode being kind of messed up. I actually got a chance to, like, search a little bit. Ooh, who can I run into? Ah! It's Tamitha again. Sisters, we are under attack! Oh, no. We are merely being mocked. By none other than the Nightwings. Mock us all you wish, then, wastrels of the Commonwealth. The sight of you in that utterly outlandish wagon, your mere existence is an affront to the act of flight. Would that my sisters and I could soar tireless and free as once we did, but nay, we must resort to such ignoble means of travel, such as you. Now stay away from us, lest our vengeance should extend beyond your commonwealth and become much more personal in nature. Ooh, she's grumpy. And then she runs into me a bunch. No, it's cool, I get it, it's fine. Let's see, is there anything else of interest over here? Nah. Okay. Whoosh. What do we got here? Point of interest. Yonder lies the Ridge of Gold, somewhat less imposing when viewed from this vantage point. Do you not agree, reader? The myths of the downside hold that it is no mere ridge of stone, but the remains of Lord Gandroth, once slain by Golgalanthian himself. Golathanian. I always have trouble pronouncing that. Lord Gandroth, the Serpent Titan, vanquished by the scribe. He brandished his tower shield and sent Gandroth's fury back into his countenance. Second of the 8 scribes, known as the Oath-Taker or the Repentant, the Empire's Master General entered exile of his own volition to pursue his liege. Though perhaps such details are of little import now when you stand and confront the chastity there in just a short while. Yeah, it'll be fine. Alright, so what do we got? Downside Prairie. Ooh, hey. Another point of interest. No, come here. There we go. You soar near to the border of the Sandfolds, where your companions first found you in the downside, long ago. There's nothing for you there, and you wish never to see it again. Oh, well, okay. I guess that makes sense. So we got Hollow Roots. The northern route to the Ridge of Gold goes through a small exile encampment. Bay has a hunch that you may find something of value on this route. Maybe. Or Blooming Pool. The southern route to the Ridge of Gold goes through a humid area pocked with hot springs. Tizo seems enthusiastic about the prospect of taking this route. I'm sorry, Tizo, but I always follow Bay, because Bay is always best. Down to Prairie. You make a successful landing in Downside Prairie, near the southern edge of the downside. Memories of having first met Hedwyn, Jodariel, and Ruki come flooding back. You now should have some time in the vicinity before continuing onward toward the Ridge of Gold by land. Ah, nice. Chance to explore, and, nobody to chat with, but I noticed we got a new book page, so let's check that out. Downside Prairie. The downside is connected to our realm via a single artery, the river named for our prestigious sack colleague, Luce Glorian. That river gushes into seeming nothingness. That seeming nothingness turns out, of course, to be the downside. Its existence undermines thousands of years of thought about the composition of our world. Downside's southern edge, as we call the Sandfolds. It is a desecrated wasteland, speaking well to this land's lack of hospitality. Here, the strength of many who survive the river journey finally fails. If only they could clamber further north, where lies the verdant Downside Prairie, a better place to perish, to be sure. Oh yeah. Downside Clinger. Yields fruit from time to time, though only if one says the magic word. Nice. Oh yeah, and the mushrooms. I appreciate that you get to pick up some items that are actually, like, useful. Also, don't mind me, I'm just a little distracted by... Okay, so, let's take a look around now. You make time to explore the sweeping plains of Hollowroot with your companions. Jordariel, do you see anything yet? Because I don't. Nothing. But there is more ground to cover should we make time. They turn to you. You may continue searching, or return to the wagon empty-handed and pursue your vocations. I kind of get the feeling that I'm gonna have plenty of time to work on vocations later. So let's keep looking around. You spend more time exploring unchecked nooks and corners of the area. Aw, unfortunately you find nothing of value. As the day begins to grow dim, you have little choice but to return to the wagon. Well, crud. I'll get to chat with Bae though. Bae seems to be speaking to herself again. She is unaware of your presence, or shows no sign of it at least. Mercy, freedom, they're intertwined. Mercy shall engender union among all our different kind. Mercy shall engender union among all our different kind. She is reciting passages from the Book of Rites, though, to your knowledge, she cannot read. Freedom to the worthy. The downside cannot let us all go free. Thus, freedom to the worthy. Is that not so, O Saint Triesta? Is that not the conclusion which you formed with your 7 most trusted friends? Which one? Ah, the Blessed Born. She pauses for a while, as though listening, and nods her head from time to time. Yes, I see. Well, I am ever grateful to you, Saint Triesta, for your guidance and your presence. And I wish all of your friends safe passage there among the stars. It must be so very beautiful out there. With your wings you can fly freely, can't you, Saint? You can visit me at any time, come and go as you please, from the stars all the way here. You do not need a pair of wings in order to be free. I know. And yet, sometimes, I wish I was like you, or like Miss Pamitha. But I know I am the way I am, because I'm meant to be this way, and I know that you are always watching. So, thank you, Saint Triesta Tithis. Thank you, and your friends. She wanders out into the afternoon, leaving you there to consider her words. In the Commonwealth, her unwavering faith in the 8 scribes would have been seen as a delusion. Such prayer or communion was forbidden. The scribes were mythical figures, but even they worshipped the stars, and it was the stars that lighted the way for the founders of the Commonwealth, or so its leaders taught. Well, that was definitely interesting. Alright. Well, let's continue on. To the Ridge of Gold. En route to the Ridge of Gold, the wagon comes to a sudden halt. That does it! I am leaving! The cause of Jodariel's outburst soon becomes apparent. Well, reader darling, at least some of us know how to take a joke, wouldn't you say? Look, she was reminiscing once again about her soldier days, and I just happened to point out, I may have suggested the fiery destruction of the Spiral Sanctum happened on her former unit's watch. I mean, didn't it? Not that she would have made much of a difference had she been there herself. She ought to thank the saints that she was spared by her exile here. I thought she held no love for your Commonwealth. I shall never understand what it is your people ever saw in that dreadful place, but I guess I hit a sore spot. I should probably apologize. She swoops off. There's no sign of either one of them. You organize a small search. It proves fruitless. But then, Jodariel returns alone, as if nothing happened. She is back to her calm self. Let us continue. I regret the interruption. Pamitha soon comes back as well. Oh, don't you worry, darling. I have definitely patched things up between us. Honest. At least, I think perhaps I didn't make things worse. She returns to her business in the wagon. You make ready to resume your travels, but make a note to follow up with them. Hopefully those two will learn to get along at some point. Alright. So, we got a few things to do. Let's chat with Pamitha first off. You find Pamitha in the midst of a heated conversation. All I'm saying is, we're limiting not only our own chances individually, but all your friends' chances as well. Jodariel seems to be considering whatever it is that Pamitha proposed. Reader, the harp here is suggesting that perhaps it would be best if I were to form an alliance with the ones whom I fought for the better part of my life. Just with me, Jodario. I cannot vouch for anybody else. How utterly absurd. If we were in the Commonwealth, I would not have stayed my hand against her, that I can say for certain. However, as Hedwyn would say, what happened back there, perhaps none of that matters anymore, and what matters more is what we do from here. That is to say, I am willing to give it a shot. You mean you would be willing to conduct the rites with me? Yes. Excellent. I knew that you would come around. Thought she'd never come around, but I ought to give her the benefit of the doubt here. I'm grateful for your open-mindedness. No need to let old enmities between our ancestors ruin things between us, or the others in our little party, for that matter. After all, do not push it with me, Harp. We shall see if the reader here is thus inclined to pair us in the coming rites. I am willing to defer to her. Anyway, you see, I think I managed to make amends there. Doubtless we'll get on swimmingly in no time. Alright, Ametha and Jodario are now willing to conduct rites together. Hope for the best! Yeah, let's take a look at the book. What do we got? The Freedom Pact. In the words of Golgolanthian, we rid the land of an impending doom, but faced another of its kind, for we knew that we were trapped. And yet for each danger which we faced, for every failed ambush by Arch, we met with gentle souls and kindred spirits on the downside, who deserved more than to fade from memory within this land. It was then the stars themselves showed us the way, delineating a great voyage across the sea. Near broken we became, but then, at last, a moonlit vision, that of the rites, the rites. Thus shall they say of us, the 8 scribes gave their freedoms that we may yet have ours. And the Ridge of Goal. Serpent Titan Gandroth turned to brittle stone not long after his death, of that you may be certain. What remains is a flat, elevated basin that stands us closer to the heavens. Upon the fallen Gandroth's hide, the stars themselves alight, and you shall know you stand on sacred ground. We set the metal sigils, lit the candle flames, and we emblazoned on the rock-like forms the sigil of our passage to and from this land, and then the stars themselves, they did reply to us. They sang, shining bright, their voices loud and clear. We understood their cadence, and we knew how often to return. I've already got it. Yeah, okay. Alright. Well then. Let's check in with the slug market. Oh, hey guys, look, I got something here I think which maybe you would like. He shows you several bottles of multicolored liquids of some sort. Sun serum, star serum, and moon serum. Interesting. +4 hope for the next rite. A beverage brewed in pure sunlight, said to warm the soul of whomever imbibes it for a little while. Star serum. Beverage brewed in pure starlight, said to hasten the step of whomever imbibes it. And moon serum. Beverage brewed in pure moonlight, said to stir the spirit of whomever imbibes it. Interesting. Yeah, they taste pretty good, I guess, and besides, they can give you just the little lift you need, you know what I mean? You get thirsty for them, don't even worry, I can get more soon. Interesting. Well, we've got a few things that we can sell, so let's manage that first off. And a downberry. Plus we've got, right, How Doing for Tizo, Faithstone, Burning Promise, and Liquid Contract. Okay. So I've got the Scoop of Stardust here, but not enough money for it. Same with most of the stuff here, I think. Yeah. So I think for now, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and not buy anything else. Come see us again, guys! Don't worry, Ron, I'm sure we will. Alright. Everything is prepared, and night is just beginning to take hold above the rolling hills of Ridge of Goal, when Wolfred gets your attention. Reader, I suppose you might remember our first meeting with that manly Tinderstuff. He would be mortified, of course, if you forgot. I would say that he is an embarrassment to my kind, but unfortunately I've known many others like him. We are a discontented people, I suppose. Anyway, when last we saw him, you might recall that I avoided him. We are not good acquaintances or anything, but he knows enough people in high places that he could be harmful to our plan should he know of my involvement. And so... Alright, speaking of, 33% is current probability. Wolfred dons his ritual mask. I shall have to be discreet here. As I am with the Nightwings once again, I can no longer hide from him outright. Perhaps, though, he shall take me for a common sap. Anyhow, it seems to me we have a right to conduct. So since Wolfred's in guard... I wonder if... Oh. Something else catches your notice in the sky this time. Strange new stars shimmering about the ones you recognize. The Greater Titans have returned. Some of them, and merely in spirit, not in form, but those dark stars are a portentous sign. Though they may light your way, beware the path which they illuminate, reader. Henceforth you may invite the influence of the Titan stars. Omens in the night sky, each representing one of Downside's mythical monstrosities. To add greater challenge. Slain or routed long ago, the Greater Titans are an indelible part of legend of the Eight Scribes.
Behold the Titan stars.
Endriga the Widow. At the start of this rite, your Pyre shall automatically suffer damage. Star of the Blood Titan, once vanquished by Underkin or S. But it gives you a boost to how quickly you rank up, which is pretty cool. Limbless Artisac. Adversaries each shall have +8 hope. Oof. And the Slack Astral One. Adversaries shall be more cunning and much quicker to react. You know... proceed to the right. You know, as interesting as it might be, I'm not actually that great at this game, so I'm gonna go without thanks. I would probably get my butt kicked. Prevail and reap the reward of greater than... Yep.
The Titan stars. Burning remnants of monstrosities failed by the scribes themselves. Who could stand against them in their fury? You are wise to have resisted their seductions, reader. Best focus on your adversaries, keen as they are to confront you once again.
Yeah, you're a jerk.
Show them the glory of the Nightwings. Now then, make ready for the right.
I really don't like the voice. My, what have we here? Why, the Nightwings, come to grace us with their presence once again. Are you perhaps intent upon humiliating us even more after last time? You sense Wolfred reaching out to you. Reader, let us indulge him for the time. Perhaps he shall reveal something we can use to provide a disincentive for his meddling. Just let him keep on talking. I shall attempt to remain hidden. And my, the colors of those raiments! I mean, they are rather gaudy in this light, I have to say. Though I mean no offense at this, of course. So, do you suppose the rite is going to commence soon? As much as I enjoy our chats like this, I do have to get going soon. If you must know why, I'm expecting an important message, from the other side no less, come dawn. I hear something is brewing out there, some sort of unrest, So yes, it is a very important message, sent all this way by one of those imp couriers, and I must say, those little things, their services are certainly not cheap. Though I'm sure that I could get you a good deal on their services if you wish, perhaps to contact a loved one back home, All I ask, of course, is that you stand aside and let the chastity prevail, as well we ought, for I have a date with destiny not long from now upon the fall of Solium. He continues talking for some time, until at last the rite is set to start. Jeez, he's annoying. Oh, my. Look at this wonderful assembly of exiles come from all different corners, Such a colorful retinue you Nightwings have. You know, I heard the most preposterous rumors about you, that you are harboring an especially notorious criminal, one who has designs upon the Commonwealth itself. He looks right at Wolfred. But I could not imagine such outlandish tales could possibly be true, Anyhow, I so would like to meet everyone here. Hello, good Nightwings. I am H. Manly Tinderstoff, and truly, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Manly has intruded on your privacy as you set to choosing your triumvirate. He could not be less welcome. He seems to be searching for someone in your ranks. Manly seems very interested in your triumvirate. Ask him to leave. Seems to respond to behavior similar to his own. Or warn him to back off. Perhaps a broken limb or two might cause Manly to think better of such antics. You see, limb, it's funny, because he's a tree person. Okay. I think we're probably better off asking politely with this jerk. You suggest to Manly that perhaps he ought to check on his own triumvirate in the key moments prior to the rite. Why yes, of course. I was just taking the opportunity to bid all of you salutations, for I so enjoy getting to meet my fellow exiles face to face like this. Yes, there may be rules against this type of thing, but who's counting, am I right? I'm sure the scribes wouldn't mind if they were here. Anyway, now that you mention it, I ought to go check on my wonderful colleagues. See you shortly, and good luck. Manly leaves, at last, leaving you to focus on the rite again. Ugh. God, he's a jerk. Roster pile updated. Alright, so let's take a look at the enemy team. Manly's got Star Splinter. And prepping to fling the orb, charge up speed increases. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, and you can take a look at some info on him. Ambassador. Westerly would retain its sovereignty for complicated reasons he would be happy to explain. Ugh. Geminian. Thirsty for new experiences. Crime was bribery. He attempted illegally to grease the wheels of Commonwealth Lending House. Alleged motive self-gain. The records show he sought a seat on the Commonwealth Council because I deserve it. And wow. Exiled for 20 years. I'm almost surprised. The way he acts, it's like he's only been down here for a little bit. Alright. Well, let's see. What has he got? Sturdy sapling. After casting Sprout, Manly sapling spawns faster than usual and gains a larger aura. Guardian sapling. If Manly is banished, a sapling shall automatically spawn near his pyre until he returns. And he's also got Savage cohorts. Rage's Flame. After dousing the adversary's pyre, the bearer's pyre. Oof. And heightened reflex. Yeah, alright. And Sir Tidemont. Also with a Rage's Flame. And with Avenging Aid. Oof. Alright, so we've got Headwind, and I definitely want to be sure to keep leveling up Headwind as we go, because I'd like to send him home next. Jodariel, of course, it's awesome. And how much inspiration have we got? 1,250. Bay has none, Tizo has a little, Sir Gilman has a little, Ametha has a little. Okay, so Jodariel we definitely want to put up. Other than her... Possibly Pamitha again. You know what, voice? You shut up. Ugh, what a jerk. Alright. Yeah. So let's put Headwind up front. Dario up top. And last... I think we'll go with Pamitha since she's the lowest level right now. And since now, you know, Pamitha and Jadario will actually work together.
Very well.
That idiot sap and his chastity cronies are all talk. We can take them. Are you quite ready yet, O Nightwings? I doubt you are. Because my colleagues of the Chastity and I, we have a trick or two we think shall take you by surprise. Just watch. Ay, this trick. Alright. Oof. There we go.
To glory, played fair.
Nope, not quite.
Spectacularly done.
Nice. Alright. Oh, how very charming this display. But quit it now and let old Manly put an end to all of this before you make a terrible mistake. You know. Poof! No crud! There we go. Yeah, they were... Oof. There we go. Sorry, Manly. Oh, no. Alright, one more.
Now, end the ceremony. The orb is up. And it is done.
There we go. That wasn't so bad.
Nightwings prevail. 'Twas as though the scribes themselves stood by their side.
Yeah, we kicked butt. We're good like that.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
My word, how could this happen to me? You deceitful, ignorant, utterly uncouth pack of fools! Have you any idea what you've done? Volfred watches the outburst in silence. Keep spouting off like that, Manly, and you shall reveal all we need to know. You harbor such a fear within your heart there, don't you? Coming from the aristocracy, and now in exile, how they must speak of you. What would they think of you if you don't get out? Or even if you do? Volfred remains deep in thought, studying his adversary. There, I see now. Then Volfred recedes into shadows. What? My head? Who? Oh, I believe there must be some mistake. I have to go. Ta-ta. Fine evening to you now. It's been a pleasure, genuinely so. Manly stumbles away in a stupor. And there he goes. I've lifted certain burdens from him for the time, a bit of mercy for his sake, for my people's sake. As well, it should ensure he has no lasting memory of our encounter here, or running into me. Now, let's be off, before he catches up with us again. Oof.
Do tend to teach something of trust. A flash of inspiration for next time.
Yeah.
Only wings could speed us on toward greater.
All in all, having to unlearn everything I've learned is going somewhat faster than expected. Alright, so we get to choose another mastery now. So which one did we have before? Right. Mid-Fury. Swift Flight. Fell Swoop. While casting an aura can trigger an aura burst that banishes nearby adversaries. Or Relentless Pursuit, if banished, while Winged Fury's effect is active, returns twice as quickly as usual. Natural Superiority. Let's go with Fell Swoop. That sounds like it might be handy. So, how was that for you, Jody darling? I suppose the outcome was acceptable. I'll take that as a compliment. And reader, thank you for your guidance, as ever. Nah, they're getting along now. It's cute. Back at the wagon after besting the chastity with ease, you are about to join the others discussing the outcome when Volfred finds you. Good work back there, my girl, though I'm afraid I must pull you away from any revelry, for there is something you should see. Please, join me outside. Look forth. The golden star reveals itself to us once more. Indeed, somewhere deep in the infinite dark, a single star shines brighter than the rest. The path to freedom reveals itself again. Ah, does that mean we're already headed up to, oh, nice. So, who are we going to be playing? The Essence again? Or the Dissidents? Oh, yeah, the Essence again. Tabitha's on her way. Weird, even though we just fought them. Alright, well. The rites are calling you again to the fall of Solium, where one among you may go free, should you prevail. It is as we discussed. The cycle of the rites is beginning to turn more quickly. Perhaps the scribes themselves have taken notice. Fortunately, having more frequent opportunities to free ourselves is not unwelcome to our plan. I suppose it's good for everyone, including the Essence, who will oppose us next. Alright, 36% chance now, and... right, the Essence. Getting to Mount Elodiel ought to be a little easier than before, at least. We should be able to make landing near to some of the old monuments to the scribes. Let's set forth at dawn. Soon, everyone is off to rest, as best they are able, knowing that another chance at liberty for one of them shall soon present itself. Alright, so normally this is the point where I'd say, that's it for this episode, blah blah blah, but this one's been kind of short, so let's check out what's going on in the Black Wagon. Hey, Headwind! Hey, my friend, come join Jodariel and me. We were just doing nothing. Not exactly accurate, Headwind. She produces a bottle of some sort from her cloak. Still can't believe you got a hold of that, Jody. I have my ways. Oh, I know, but still. Jodariel opens the bottle and pours several glasses. Well then, what shall we toast to? Right now, I got no idea. What shall you toast to? To friendship, to freedom, or to drinking? Salute Headwind, Jodariel, and the others, without whom you would not be here. Quest is not beyond your reach. May you all continue to strive for the best outcome. For all too rare are such occasions, even in the Commonwealth, so they are to be cherished. Let's go with friendship. Friendship is good. You raise a toast to friendship, giving thanks to Headwind and Jodariel for putting their faith in you. You know all too well where you would be if not for them. Would that you knew such company as this back when you had your so-called freedom in the Commonwealth. Life takes strange turns, and for some of them you are grateful. Damn right, my friend. I'll drink to that. And so they do. The bit of revelry is all too brief, but afterward, you feel as though a burden has been lifted from your shoulders for the time. Let us save the rest for later, then. Good evening to you both. You go your separate ways for now. Alright. Let's see, the Chastity. Those bearing the name of the Chastity all count themselves disciples of Luce Glorian, the Hundred Lines, known firstly for his wisdom, but also cherished for his modesty, integrity, and kingship. Sklorian's priority in forming his triumvirate was to instill in all his subjects a deep-seated deference and respect for the rules governing the liberation cycle. The cycle of the rites needs to be respected to be understood, and needs to be understood to be respected, Sklorian said. Thus the Chastity are emissaries of the cycle. Should they earn back their liberty, then they shall spread enlightenment itself, and all of us shall grow. So, we didn't check in with Sandra before. I was beginning to wonder when you would return. But it looks like she doesn't have much for us to do at the moment. So, I guess that's all. Alright. Well, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to come back next time, and we'll be headed back up to the, whatever the name of that place is. I forgot again already. The place where we have the final rites and get to send somebody home. And we'll probably be sending somebody home, I think, especially since we're going up against the Essence. I don't really think that, I mean, I don't know, maybe Pamitha's gonna ask us to throw the fight so Tamitha can go, but it seems pretty unlikely. Well, we'll see. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check down in the doobly-doo. You can find my PayPal and my Patreon there, in case you want to throw some money at me. Or just leave a comment, say hi. I always love talking to you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!